Arlene or Darlene.
Yes.
This is Don Vories. How are you?
Hey, Dawn, I'm doing well. It sounds like you have a cold.
No, I just woke up a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Are you still Arlene's daughter?
Oh, yeah, well, I always will be.
Are you still Roger Chinn's
No,
daughter-in-law?
no.
Well,
Where do you live now?
we still in the neighborhood. We
Oh,
just
okay.
we built a home about 12, 13 years ago. Across the alley behind us, we bought that property and
Oh,
subdivided it, and so forth. So, tell me about your mother. Have you heard from her lately?
oh, yes. We actually just I flew her down from Pendleton to Portland.
Okay.
Um, and my sister picked her up there and then flew with her down to California
Okay.
to celebrate her birthday and my dad's birthdays together, and we kind of had a family reunion.
Okay.
Um, Interesting you called about this time because the day before the trip, she fell and hurt herself.
Yeah.
And this had nothing to do with Roger as far as he didn't push her or anything, which I wouldn't put it beyond him.
Yeah.
But he didn't take her. They were out washing windows, and he didn't take her to the ER. I'm sure she said she was fine because she didn't want to interfere with the trip. She really wanted to go.
Yeah.
So we got her down there, and she was in so much pain. I have a little bit of hydrocodone that I take once in a while I had fractured my vertebrae in my neck 8 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And every now and then it'll bother me, so I take a half of one, just to help me get some sleep at night. But so I had probably 5 left, and I started giving them to her. She couldn't hardly move.
Oh.
So my sister, when she picked her up in Portland, took her to the ER, and they did x-rays. They said no breaks, fine. So we got her on the plane. We got her down there, and she was in so much pain. I said, something's not right. We need to get her to an ER.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't down there. She was down there for 4 days, and finally we got her back with, she said she couldn't get on the little plane between Portland and Pendleton. And I said, that's fine, Mom. If you don't think you can, we're not going to force you.
Yeah.
So Charlene met Roger in Biggs, I think. And I'm sorry, Dawn, he is the worst person I have ever known. Even though she was in so much pain, he took 2 hours there in Biggs to have lunch or supper or whatever, and they had already fed Mom.
Yeah.
And then they got into Pendleton. He had to stop for a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he finally gets her into the ER about 11 o'clock. He picked her up about 4.
Yeah.
And finally gets her to the ER, and she was saying, "Oh, we'll just go tomorrow." I said, "Mom, if you don't go to the ER tonight," I said, "I will raise holy hell." I said, I will call for a welfare check,
Uh-huh.
and they will find you where you are. She was in so much pain. And I said, and I'm calling APS again, because I've called them a couple of times. Anyway, so he finally gets her in there. She has a fractured L3.
Why didn't they find this earlier?
It doesn't. They did a CAT scan. It doesn't show up on X-rays.
Oh.
I don't know. It must not be a separated pieces or anything like that. It's just fractured. But she was in so much pain. I said, something's not right, Mom. This is not just from a fall a week ago.
So this was her third visit to an ER.
Second.
So where is she now?
She's at home. And this what happened like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And Don, I am so mad. I wish I could take him out of the picture somehow.
Well, listen, there's a reason why I'm calling you.
I figured there was.
I haven't called you in some time because honestly, I haven't seen Roger in years, maybe a passing high, but not
Probably
really
best.
talk. I avoid him
Yes.
like the plague. And not only that, for the last 2 years, we've been dealing with my mother-in-law, and we've been in Canada 1 week out of every month for about the last year and a half. So we really,
Okay.
and then when we are here, we're busy playing catch up, getting ready for the next trip. And
Right.
so our neighbor next door, Evelyn Bergman, she said, we've been talking about having a neighborhood party. And so this last Thursday we planned it, and because my wife's been doing parties for events, I should say, in our backyard. This is the event month, and we just got through with one. We have another one Friday, so we have all our stuff out. And we said, well, this is a perfect time to do it. Let's just do it. And Saturday night was the night. And we have the people that just bought our place in May. And
Next door to Mom?
yes. And I said, we want to make sure to invite them. I've never met them. And because of our being gone a lot, I've meant to go over. I just never had the time to just do it.
Right.
And so they came with Mel Johnson. He's 95 years old. Lives across the street. I think you've met them.
Maybe.
They're the ones that Roger sued because the dog bit
the dog
them.
bite. Yeah.
So anyhow, and I had known Chris Margart, the guy that owned the place before. I mean, they got almost down to a fist fight with Roger. I mean, he would not put up with his nonsense. Well, Roger's gotten worse. When these people came, they're very nice, lovely people. Allie is the wife's name. The husband is Justin, and they got two cute little girls, Cody and Tony, and they were scared to death because Roger had told them that all the neighbors hated him because of their barking dog. Which, by the way,
that's the one that Roger's having a fit now. He had signs made up or something about a dog barking. He's having a fit over it.
We're elevated higher than he is, and usually sound goes up. And if there was any hearing of dogs, I would hear them. I have not heard that dog. Honestly, I have not heard that dog. So I have no idea what he's talking about. But he has told them that Don Vories can't even have a nap on his patio.
Oh my gosh, he's making up stories about you?
Yeah, and I said, wow, I wish I had time to take a nap on my my patio. And I said, no, that is not true. And I said, I haven't talked with him in literally years. Anyhow, there's attorneys involved. And the guy, they have a restraining order.
How can Roger afford attorneys?
I have no idea. And he gave him a card and says, I work for Blaze King. I have do you know if he works for Blaze King?
No, he doesn't. He lost that a long time ago. They don't like him. They don't want anything to do with him. He has the card because he's proud of his venture, but good for him.
Well,
but that was 20 years ago or more.
I wanted to. I was going to say while you were telling me this story about your mom being in California, I was wondering if there was a way to just keep her away from him.
We've tried. She ran away from him a year ago, April, and stayed here for 2.5 weeks. And he came out the first time and said, "You're going home with me." And when he showed up, we were out to lunch. I took her out to lunch. She'd been here maybe a day and a half, 2 days. And he was texting her, and she says, "Oh, no." And I said, "What's the matter, Mom?" "He's here in Blackfoot. He's at the Best Western." where is that? And I said, it's just across the street. Oh, let's go. I don't want him to find me. And he hates me. He thinks I kidnapped her. So anyway, we sent her. Oh, well, he flagged down the police and wanted me to be arrested for kidnapping. And they called me on my cell phone. I said, I bet you're calling me because of this woman sitting in my car. Anyway, so he drove back home, and then he convinced her like a week later that he was coming out and she was going home with him. I went downstairs, and she was in the bathroom crying, putting her makeup on.
Well, I want to stay away from this guy as far as possible.
Well, I get it. I wish I didn't have to deal with him.
I don't trust what he might do to try to retaliate. Part of me thinks that if I get into his face, he'll leave everybody alone. But the police department, anyhow. First of all, I'm gonna give you your contact information. And by the way, your phone conversation, I should have asked you, is being recorded. And
that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that.
I'm sending it to Justin and Allie because I figured. Who
are they?
They're the people that bought our house and that are having
the
all
one
these
next
problems.
to Mom and Roger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the police, of course, he's got a history with them, and of course, as soon as they mention that they live next door and they're having problems, why everybody in the department comes out and wants to, what's he doing now? And
well, go ahead. Did you have? Was there an incident or something?
Well, here's the thing. They think. The way that she came out of the house once and he yelled at her to get the hell back in the house and swore at her. And
when was this?
I think just recently, within, it had to be, if she's been gone, it had to be fairly recent. And
right.
But they think that she's being abused and
absolutely,
and is kept from seeing anybody. And
absolutely,
so
we know that, but she won't do anything about it.
I know.
I called APS. I've gone through this, and I'm keeping a record of everything right now. My brother heard it. Now she's getting dementia. While she was down in California, she was in the car, and she moved just wrong, and her back hurt. Well, we didn't know it was broken. We knew there was something wrong.
Yeah.
But she says, I just don't know why. It was my brother Daryl and I only in the car. And she says, I don't know why my back hurts so much. I haven't fallen or anything. And we said, Mom, you don't remember falling? No. I said, Mom, you were out washing windows with Roger and you fell? Oh, yeah. So
okay.
I'm keeping track of all of this. Now, Daryl, my brother that was with me, has had a stroke. He has memory problems.
Really?
I said,
oh, dear.
Yeah, he's had a couple strokes. This is the one that had cancer. Anyway, he's writing everything down. His life mate. They're not married, but they are so cute together. Anyway, she's helping him with what she remembers, what he remembers, and whenever he remembers, he's writing it down. The lady I talked to, Heidi Penkert, and she's with Adult Protective Services in Walla Walla. They had a case open. They had to close it because she wouldn't do anything about it. They said, if anything happens, we know something's going on.
Yeah.
And but we can't prove anything, so we have to close the case. But she says, if anything else happens, you call me back. Well, she must be out on vacation. She's going to be back on the 27th. And I am talking to her directly. He withheld or delayed medical, having them look at her at the ER. And then he delayed, I think, the next day, thank you. I'm sitting outside. My husband brought me a blanket. It's cold out. He delayed getting her the pain meds to fill the prescription the next day until like 6 o'clock in the evening. So that's abuse right there. She was in so much pain.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm writing everything down. there is going to be another APS case, I hope, hopefully opened. And also, well, I've had 2 different stories on this, and I'm telling you all this because this is being recorded. This is true.
Yeah.
Mom has told me that her Social Security check, she doesn't get access to it. Now that she said 2 things, and with her memory, I'm not really sure which one is correct, or if it's changed based on me calling APS. But my first understanding was that her Social Security check goes into a bank account with just his name on it. That's financial elder abuse, period. Now she's telling me, no, it goes into a bank account with both of their names on it, but he instantly moves it into an account with just his name on it. And they keep asking us for money. Charlie and I are the only ones, it's my other brother, that have a financial resources to give them money. And he's gotten himself into some financial trouble, which he has no sense, I tell you, about as much as a walnut. Anyway, and he asked Charlie for $600. Well, we're tired of paying their electric bill and their power, their water bill and everything. Yeah. And so part of the APS thing was he's providing for her. There's nothing we can do. He's not providing for her. Charlie and I are by paying the bill. Yeah. So we told Mom, we're not doing it anymore. And he asked me the night before I sent her home on the flight with Charlene last week for money again. And I said, Roger, I told you, Charlie and I are no longer sending money, period. So I've warned Mom, and she knows. I said, you're going to end up in a situation with no power or no water. And I said, at that point, I will call APS because he is not providing for you. And I feel like I'm turning my back on my mom. It breaks my heart, but I got to do something to break the cycle here.
The police have told Allie and Justin that to pay close attention, and if they hear any sounds that sound like abuse, like somebody's being, whatever, to call them immediately, and they would come. And
this was 10 years ago, I talked with a responding officer, and he told me, he said, I truly believe, these were his words, that one day I will arrive at that house and find a homicide, suicide. Yeah. And I said, you tell me that, and yet you tell me there's nothing I can do? And he says, there's nothing you can do unless you are there.
Yeah. Well, this happened. Remember Dennis Lipiani? He used to be the city police chief.
I think I talked to Chief too.
Yeah. This was he's since retired some time ago, but he's told me the very same thing. He said, he was dead serious. I remember when we lived over there 15 years ago that he would park in front of our house, across the street, just sit there for hours, and when there was something heated up. And,
but and he controls Charlie, us 4 kids that are left living, based on he makes holy hell for Mom if we do anything that crosses him. And so we don't want to do anything where he's going to hurt her. I mean, short of moving out there and living in the basement.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Well, when you said that, because Evelyn went over to invite, and she knocked on the door, and it looked like everything was dead. So
No, they hide.
Yeah, there was no car there, so he was gone. So
she'll hide. She will not. She cannot call us unless Roger's gone. And in the past, the only way she could call us when he was home is if it was on speakerphone. And I have recorded him when she ran away that April, year ago. She had it on speakerphone. He didn't know it, and he said, she had a friend, Rich Eatwell, and it's a guy, but it was a friend, and he'd kind of check on Mom as if it was his mom. And Roger was accusing her, calling her a lying bitch, pardon the language, because she was having an affair with him.
Oh boy.
And even when Mom had the broken back, I don't know if he knew that it was how bad she was hurt. I don't know how he could have missed it, but when she was getting all packed and ready to drive down to Pendleton, he told her to change the sheets on the bed. And I'm thinking, and the first thing out of Mom's mouth was, "What, does he have company coming? I don't trust him." And then night before last. Now, this is a week and a half after she fell, 2 weeks maybe, because she wasn't sure when she fell. He told her, night before last, that if she doesn't get better, he's going to put her in a nursing home.
Well, she'd be safe there. She'd be safe there.
She would be safe there, but I got to tell you, if I could, without getting into trouble, I would put a camera in the house. And I've asked her if I could, and she said no, she's afraid.
Yeah, I understand that.
I do too, but I could prove something then.
Yeah, I know. Well, what I'm going to do is I promised Ali and Justin that I would do what I could to connect the two of you together, and and then she'll probably listen to this conversation, and so she can get some sort of a background of what's been going on the last 2 or 3 weeks. And
he's getting worse as the time goes by.
Well, he must be, because he was never that bad with us. I mean, this is what's so ridiculous is, we had 2 dogs, Misty and Muffy, and they were holy terrors. I know. I mean, we would be gone on vacation or something, and they would literally come over and take care of and feed the dogs. And Arlene would say, "Oh, we love them," and we'd take them, but. And they did. I mean, there was nobody living behind us. There was just, and of course, Mrs. Meckling to the north of us, she's hard of hearing, and she would never be able to hear. So there was really nobody close by except Roger and Arlene. And we never heard them complain at all. They said, "Oh, the dogs were barking," and that was about all they would say. And we'd apologize, but they would then, at the same breath, they would say, "Well, we would go over and feed them, and we'd take them for walks, and we'd bring them over."
Yeah, no, Roger,
that sort of thing.
He's definitely getting worse, and I do fear for Mom, but I don't know, short of living out there.
Yeah, I don't
know what I can do.
Yeah.
You know what? It would come to a boil real fast if I was there.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't put up with it. I haven't. I've been nose to nose with him, and I told him, I said, "You know what? Touch me, Roger. I'll have your ass in jail. You won't know what day it is."
By the way, who owns the house? I had heard that somebody had.
Mom.
That is the.
Well,
house.
here's where it began. Mom's parents, my grandparents, built the house way back. I remember when they were building it. Yeah. We used to play in the basement.
Right.
They gave it to Mom. Roger, because it's a joint ownership state. I'm not sure if that's why, but I think he has. Forced Mom to have his name put on the house.
I think he did. Yeah, she told me when that happened. Yeah,
they did a reverse mortgage. I don't know how they paid it off or something. Anyway, and then I had a car accident 8 years ago, and I got a pretty good settlement out of it. And so I paid off their first and second mortgage, and I've paid the taxes, and I've paid to upkeep on the house so that it doesn't go into foreclosure. But there is a reverse mortgage on the house right now so that they don't have to pay any mortgage. So the house will eventually go to the bank.
Oh, so even after you paid it off, they put a reverse mortgage on it after?
Well, I facilitated that because they couldn't pay their rent.
Okay.
They don't have money because he's out. He spends all the money, and then Mom can't pay the bills.
Okay.
And she, when they pay bills, she writes the bills out, and then he has to sign them because her name's not on the account where the money is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So she is financially held hostage, emotionally abused, verbally abused, physically, I believe, abused. I don't have proof, but And this fall, she repeated herself 10 times or more of what happened, and she just missed a stare. This was not Roger doing it. I believe this because she repeated with the beginning of Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever. Yeah. She repeated the same story through the 4 days that she was there. So I believe she's telling the truth on that.
That he pushed her?
No. That she missed a stare.
Oh, I see. When they were cleaning windows.
Yes.
Yeah.
But okay. and the problem is, she goes, well, can we go through their homeowners? I said, well, we can't, Mom, because well, here's more to the story. There's always more. This is undocumented income.
Oh, I see.
They're not paying taxes on it. Now, I don't know if they have to based on the amount of money they make, and they're over 70. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and call a tax attorney and find out. But she's, I don't know if she'll end up with surgery, or they didn't even give her a back brace, which kind of surprised me. They just gave her meds.
Oh, boy.
So, and today he gave her, I just talked to her this morning, he gave her 10 milligrams. They prescribed 5, and that's what I was giving to her of the hydrocodone. Has a little bit of Tylenol with it. And he gave her 10, which when I had my car accident after surgery, they were giving me 20, and we're built about the same. So, it's not going to hurt her. It's just, I've experienced it, and it does kind of put you out in left field a little bit.
Well, let me ask you this: what would happen if something should happen to her, or she goes to a nursing home, or she moves down to where you are? What's going to happen to him in the house?
If I had my druthers, he'd be out of the house and she'd stay there. I would make arrangements for her to have a companion downstairs or something, but I would have him out of the house. That is not his house. The belongings in it. He has some from when they were married in Park City, but most of the stuff in there is the grandparents.
But
and I would like to have him out.
But how? Yeah, that's a $64,000 question. How do you get him out?
I can't. I've been trying for 10 years.
Because my only concern is I'm concerned about these nice people that moved in. By the way, Roger, he's Allie works for the Trinity Baptist Church as a secretary, and when he found that out, he's, you're a Christian. Well, you know what you have to do. He uses this religious thing, and I know what that's all about. The guy is such a hypocrite. It's not even funny.
Yeah. If you think about it, Don, the man is mentally unstable. He really is mentally nuts. I'm not sure he can reason like you and I reason.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't know
how.
No.
He is not mentally whole.
Mm-hmm. No.
And I mean that in the nicest way. I really do. He just does not fire on all cylinders.
Well, I've heard that he's bipolar. This is what your mom used to always tell me.
That's been diagnosed.
Yeah. And he has medication, but he doesn't always take it.
No, he does not have medication, and he would not take it if he did.
Oh, okay.
He does not have medication because the problem with bipolar, they like the highs. Mm-hmm. They suffer through the lows along with everybody around them, and they don't want to get evened out to the middle because they like the highs. And according to him, well, nobody is right but him. And when he gets into these rants, I don't know if you've heard him. You're talking to him. He's not listening. He is just all rant, and there is no reasoning. He's not listening. He's in his zone, and that's when I think he hurts Mom. I don't know. I don't have proof, but
well, I know he broke her arm in Portland going across the bridge. Down. I think they were driving or something.
I heard that he pushed her down.
You know what? my memory.
I don't.
It just
Well,
sticks in my mind. They were going across the bridge. They were fighting in the car, and he slapped her real hard and broke her arm.
I
He
wouldn't doubt it.
he also. I was over there one day, and her foot was broken or something, and
Yeah, her toe.
I said, okay. I said, so how'd Roger do it this time? Oh, no, no. I said, Arlene, don't lie to me.
She
I
does.
see the look on your face, and I do not believe that. Oh, no, no,
Well,
no,
and
no.
she's fallen. I don't know if you've heard about this. This was probably 3-4 years ago. She was downtown. As she said, Roger wasn't even around. I don't know. I have no way of proving. And she tripped and fell, broke her tooth. I've got pictures on my phone. Broke her tooth, cut her lip. Really, I mean, it was a mess. And what I'm thinking is, if you fall, you're going to catch yourself. She said, well, I had something in my hands. Okay. How come your cheek isn't scraped? Your nose isn't scraped? Nothing was scraped. I'll send you the pictures if you want. I mean,
Yeah.
the man is a danger to even himself.
Well, the neighbors, they have a restraining order. He can't come on their property.
I wonder if I could get a restraining order against him for Mom.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You might, they can give you more details. What I'll do is I'm going to send this to them. They're in church now, I'm sure. And I'll send them this and then all your contact information, so they'll be in touch with you for sure.
Let me just say it on the recording. My name is Darlene Larson. Arlene Chinn is my mother. Roger Chinn is my stepdad, or at least she's married to him. My phone number is 208-681-2616. I am open to any information that will help me help my mother against Roger.
Okay.
How's that?
That sounds good. Okay, well, it's good talking with you, and
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
She doesn't deserve to live like this.
No, she doesn't. And I'm just afraid of this new family that's lived over there that's excited about this first new home, and they've got these two little girls, and I don't trust Roger as far as I can throw him.
Yeah, well, I don't. He's not gonna. He wouldn't do anything sexual, I don't think, but he is just not mentally whole.
No, he chooses more the older women.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, my friend. It's so good to talk with you.
But yes, anything they can do to help me, because I am going to see if I can get another APS case opened as soon as Heidi gets back to her office.
And I think Ollie has seen some things that makes them very suspicious that she's being held under against her will.
Well, it's not against her will because she won't leave.
Yeah.
It's not against her will. I think she doesn't want to be alone. She's too old. She says she loves him, and he loves her. And I said, Mom, druggies love the drugs that kill them.
Yeah, that's right. They do.
So
yeah,
it's not against her will, but it is under duress.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Thank you so much for calling, Donna, and please call anytime you can.
Okay, I'll do. Thanks.
All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.